Good morning. Good morning, good morning. Thank you, please. Thank you. Good to see this cabinet and the staff together here. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Please. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's good to see you all. Particularly good to see my granddaughter sitting in the front row here. Hi, Finn. How are you, honey? For over 200 years, America has carried on the greatest experiment in self-government in the history of the world. And that's not hyperbole, that's a fact. We're the people. The people vote and choose their own leaders, and they do it peacefully. And we're in a democracy. The will of the people always prevails. Yesterday, I spoke with President-elect Trump to congratulate him on his victory. And I assured him that I'd direct my entire administration to work with his team to ensure a peaceful and orderly transition. That's what the American people deserve. Yesterday, I also spoke with Vice President Harris. She's been a partner and a public servant. She ran an inspiring campaign, and everyone got to see something that I learned early on to respect so much, her character. She has a backbone like a ramrod. She has great character, true character. She gave her whole heart and effort, and she and her entire team should be proud of the campaign they ran. You know, the struggle for the soul of America, since our very founding, has always been an ongoing debate and still vital today. I know for some people, it's a time for victory, to state the obvious. For others, it's a time of loss. Campaigns are contests of competing visions. The country chooses one or the other. We accept the choice the country made. I've said many times, you can't love your country only when you win. You can't love your neighbor only when you agree. Something I hope we can do, no matter who you voted for, is see each other not as adversaries, but as fellow Americans. Bring down the temperature.
Bring down the temperature. Now, you're probably wondering, Stu, why do you keep flashing Joe Biden on the screen? It's very annoying. You're taking away from Joe's magnificent speech. I understand that, and I'm sorry, but I had to point out, look how happy Jill is. Did you see the pep in Joe Biden's step? He's almost giddy. Like, wow. You wouldn't think that his party just lost. But there were people, pundits, who believed that Jill was sending a cryptic message. I'm voting for the orange man. I mean, you gotta know, look, I don't know that for sure. Who knows? But you gotta know, on the day of the election, you step out wearing the color of your political opponent. I mean, to say that that wasn't intentional, come on. And I'm telling you, this is exactly what Joe wanted. He wanted to be magnanimous. He wanted to sit there and say, oh, she ran a tough campaign. She gave it her all. She gave it her all. See, he can say that knowing, and she still came up short. She gave it her all, and still she got trounced. She gave it her all, And still the orange man wiped up the floor with her. She gave it her all. That's the reason he's out there. You see how happy he was to walk out there? Look how happy Jill is to go vote. I'm sorry. At every turn, Joe Biden was undermining Kamala's campaign at every turn. She couldn't run fast enough to get away from him. Oh, brother.
I also hope we can lay to rest the question about the integrity of the American electoral system. It is honest, it is fair, and it is transparent.
Whoa. Now, let's be clear about something. Let's be clear. In particular, in Philadelphia, in Pennsylvania, there was some shenanigans that went on, and Donald Trump had to sue to get it reversed. There were some shenanigans that went on, and unless Republicans stepped in to button it up, we don't know what would have happened. Again, this was the crown jewel. Donald Trump won, but not without a fight to make sure that every vote was counted. And hold on a second. Let me show you this.
I want people to be reassured that when they get up tomorrow to go vote, if they have not voted already, that everybody in this city is working and has been working for months to make sure that there will be nothing tough about that experience and nothing to fear in that experience. But I also want to be clear, anybody who thinks it's time to play militia, F around and find out. Anybody who thinks it's time to insult, to deride, to mistreat, to threaten people, F around and find out. We do have the cuffs, we do have the jail cells, we do have the Philly juries, and we have the state prisons. So if you're going to try to turn an election into some form of coercion, if you're going to try to bully people, bully votes or voters, you're going to try to erase votes, you're going to try any of that nonsense, we're not playing. F around and find out.
That's why it was open, because Republicans were absolutely making sure that everything was buttoned up.
And it can be trusted, win or lose. I also hope we can restore the respect for all our election workers who busted their necks and took risks at the outset. We should thank them. Thank them for staffing voting sites, counting the votes, protecting the very integrity of the election. Many of them are volunteers who do it simply out of love for their country. And as they did their duty as citizens, I will do my duty as president. I'll fulfill my oath, and I will honor the Constitution. On January 20th, we'll have a peaceful transfer of power here in America. To all our incredible staff, supporters, cabinet members, all the people who've been hanging out with me for the last 4 years, God love you, as my mother would say, thank you so much. You put so much into the past 4 years. I know it's a difficult time.
Now you should understand this. The posture of Joe Biden is actually there, I believe, and this is just my opinion, Donald Trump won the popular vote. You see, that jewel in his victory is the reason they have to eat crow. Trust me, without getting that popular vote, he wouldn't be saying this. This is the same guy who said those mega Republicans are a threat to our very democracy. That's the same guy who told you you were garbage for voting for him. So without winning, that's why I said it didn't matter where you were. You had to get out there and vote. It didn't matter if you were in a blue state. It didn't matter if you were in a blue county. You had to get out there and vote. Donald Trump had to get the popular vote to make it decisive so that there's no shenanigans. Because trust me, without that, he'd be singing a different tune.
You're hurting. I hear you and I see you. But don't forget all that we accomplished. It's been a historic presidency.
Yeah. You left our border wide open. Yes. You got military men and women killed with your ridiculous withdrawal from Afghanistan. Yes. You made it impossible to buy essentials. You did a bang-up job, Joe, a bang-up job. So much so that people couldn't wait to get out there and vote for Donald Trump.
Not because I'm president, because what we've done, what you've done. A presidency for all Americans. Much of the work we've done is already being felt by the American people, but the vast majority of it will not be felt over the next 10 years. We have legislation we passed that's just only now just really kicking in. We're going to see over $1 trillion worth of infrastructure work done, changing people's lives in rural communities and communities that are in real difficulty because it takes time to get it done. And so much more. It's going to take time, but it's there. The road ahead is clear, assuming we sustain it. There's so much we can get done and will get done based on the way the legislation was passed. And it's truly historic. You know, we're leaving behind.
Your DOJ did everything in its power to jail your political opponent. That's what your DOJ did. My guess is they're probably right now still trying to figure out if they can put him in jail. I'm not kidding.
Strongest economy in the world.
You know, you were watching one of the most corrupt politicians in U.S. history. Just utterly corrupt from top to bottom, trying to be magnanimous. Why? Because he did everything in his power to undermine everything Kamala Harris was getting done. She didn't need a whole lot of help, by the way. She really didn't. She didn't need a whole lot of help. But this, I'm telling you, he's happy. Because you understand something. When they pulled that coup, kicking him out, telling him to hit the road, Jack, we're going to install the person you didn't even want as a running mate. And you're out. She's in. He fought it tooth and nail. Remember when he first announced that he was out, he didn't endorse her. That came later because they had to twist his arm. Look, Joe Biden is feeling giddy because now he gets to go off into the sunset yelling, "I told you so." I mean, the fact does remain. He did better. He would have been a better candidate than Kamala. I believe he still would have lost the popular and the electoral college, but he would have done better. I mean, Kamala did, it was a disaster, a trouncing, a ridiculous rejection of everything she is. Just like I wanted. I told you it had to be humiliating. It had to leave no stone unturned. The win had to be decisive, and it was. So I'm telling you right now, Joe Biden is giddy. Jill is happy as a lark because they get to walk around the entire party saying, well, we told you so. All right, that's it for now. Hey, if you like this video, smash that like button and subscribe. And if you're following me on Rumble, please press that follow button. And until the next time, God bless.